My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC Vegas 32, we have the return of Aspen Ladd in the co-main event versus Macy Chiasson. Aspen Ladd 9-1 overall, 4-1 in her last five. Macy 4-1 in her last five, 7-1 overall. Aspen Ladd, as I mentioned, is coming off a 2-year layoff. She gets wild. She's borderline crazy. She's not the most technical, but damn, is she tough, and she's pretty good everywhere. This layoff will be interesting because she may have used the layoff to really button things up.
No, the layoff was she last spring she tore her ACL and MCL. So it's her first fight since tearing her ACL and MCL.
And she may button things up. She may have gotten her weight under control. She struggled with some weight cuts in the past, and even her loss, if you look at that, that was kind of a problem. And she doesn't have great striking defense because she'll just go out there and let it fly. She does have power, and she is decent everywhere. Macy is tall. She's long. She gets hit if you stay in her face. If you come forward and you stay in her face, you can absolutely hit her. When she can't dictate that distance, she has some problems. And I think that will be the difference here. I think she's going to try to circle. She's going to try to get the distance. But this is a fight night, so this is the small cage at the UFC Apex. And I think Aspen, her craziness, just going to come charging forward, making things happen, stay in Macy's face, and I think she's going to beat Macy up pretty good. So I like Aspen Ladd in this fight. I have her in my lineup. I wouldn't normally do that, but I do have her in my lineup. If you like Kyler Phillips, then swap her for Kyler Phillips. But I like Aspen Ladd. I have her in my lineup. I just think she gets it done. What do you think?
I love Aspen Ladd. She is such an awesome person. Just like one of those sweet girls that all of a sudden the cage closes and it's like, holy shit, who did she just turn into? But you did, or I did mention the layoff with the ACL, MCL, first fight back. I will say, scouring the Instagram, that's what I do. She looks fantastic. She lost that one fight. I'm pretty sure it's because of the weight cut. She had an awful, awful weight cut. After she rehydrated, she said she felt fine, but that was a one punch, and she actually almost got that loss overturned. There was a 3-2 vote by the commission because it was an early stoppage because she got dropped, and they got right back to her feet, but Herb Dean had already stepped in, so the fight was over, and she almost got that loss overturned. That's how bad it was. After that fight, she actually got suspended by the commission because of her weight. She gained back 18% of her weight in between weigh-ins and fight night, so they suspended her because that was way too much weight. But I'll say I don't think she's going to have any issues. I mentioned last week Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate's somebody that used to struggle. She had a little time off, came in, looked fantastic. If you look at Aspen Ladd's Instagram, she looks like she's lean, ready to go. I think she comes in and probably dominates this fight. Macy's length is the only thing that would worry me. That's the only thing that kept Aspen out of my lineup because I love Aspen. But I kept her in my lineup first because the length with Macy, because Macy's very, very good as well, and she can strike. But then I learned also Macy, when she was in high school, got shot by a drive-by. It was a ricochet bullet, but she got shot in the stomach. She said some kid just jumped out of the car and started unloading on her and her friend. I don't know how he didn't hit him, but a ricochet bullet got her in the stomach. The kid actually got like 100 years in jail for attempted murder, and he was only doing it for peer pressure. This is a little bit of a tangent, but he was like in a gang, so he was like peer pressure to do it, so he didn't even want to do it. Now he's in jail for the rest of his life. So that teaches you a lesson, kids. Peer pressure. Just say no. But I like Aspen Ladd in this fight. I think she's probably a pretty good DraftKings pick, but I just stayed away from her just because I'm a little bit worried about Macy. Because if you watch our last breakdown against Macy, I said that I think they're putting her up to try and challenge for a title. So we'll see which one is for real. So
yeah, and I have Aspen in my lineup. The DraftKings is crazy this week, and we'll see what happens. I may we'll see when weigh-ins come. I may swap some things around. But I like Aspen in this fight. I don't know if she's almost a 2-1 favorite, especially after a 2-year layoff. but I do like her in this fight. I think, styles make fights. I always break that down. And I think her forward pressure will just frustrate Macy. Macy will not be able to use her range, and Aspen is just going to be in her face doing whatever the hell she wants to do. So I've got Aspen in this fight. We'll take a look at some props because I don't like that money line. That's way too wide. And monkey knife fight, I don't know, man. That's a high line. More is probably the safer play because I think it will be busy, but that's a high line. What do you think?
Did you say more?
Yeah, it's probably the safer play.
I don't know, man. That is a tough one. I would probably play more if I had to, but I would probably stay away from it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's the type of line. Monkey knife fights, you triple your money, but the lines move. So if you love one that we've broken down tonight, go in there, grab it now. If you're like us, where this one's like it's
I
would
go opposite of whichever way it moves. If it moves, I would go opposite of the way it moves, probably.
Yeah, that's why I want to see it move. This way, it gets out of this like perfect middle ground where it is, and then I could hit the under or the over. Either way, weonpicks.com. Grab yourself some NKF.